better than the Eastern Conference. What do you think?
A little bit.
Are they going to be giving up any points?
With 23 points against Houston back in OKC. There's Russell to the basket for two. Bad pass. Wonderful pass. And boy, you get on that Westbrook freeway, there's no way to get off it.
For most of the season for Bazemore. Westbrook inside on Lillard.
Side misses. Russell puts it in another.
Support for the show, FYF Sports, is brought to you by Manscaped, who's the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide. Join the movement for all of your below-the-waist grooming needs. Get 20% off and free shipping with coupon code FYFCREW at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code FYFCREW. Your balls will thank you. Hey, it's FYF Sports, man. It's Lamont. We back with another podcast episode. As you guys can see, man, today is our versus series. NBA player debate. Russell Westbrook versus Kyrie Irving. I like these two players because they're similar in the sense that they've been playing in the league for around the same amount of time. They have very staunch fan bases. And when I say that, what I mean is, you know, a lot of their fans are very eccentric. They love them to a fault, to both ends. I would say Kyrie Irving is probably the more popular player amongst the fan bases. Russell Westbrook's been more villainized, just kind of more hated and despised for whatever reason. And we all know why: his playing style, his antics, some of the things that he does. But that's one of the reasons why I chose these two players. And I also chose these two players because they're great point guards in the league today. They're great point guards in their own right. They've done a lot of things individually that you can look up to. And we really want to break that down. But, you know, at the end of the day here at FYF Sports, not only are we going to just speak about these two players, it's FYF Sports Debates. We have to really get to the nitty gritty and determine who is the better player, just kind of based on some of the things that we break down in the NBA film study, the footage, the stats, the analytics. Who is the better player, Kyrie Irving or Russell Westbrook? That's what we got to get down to the bottom of today. Before we get started with today's video, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to the video if you haven't done so already. I mean, we're grinding. I mean, this year's the goal. The goal this year is to 100K subscribers. So we're really going to be focusing on the quality of content that we put out. I know early on we were pumping out videos daily. We're still going to be putting out those videos. But again, the main focus going forward for this channel is the quality of the content that we put out. We really want to pay attention to all the detail that we send out to you guys. Make sure everything's factual. And so, again, we appreciate everybody who's actively engaging in all the contents. We appreciate all the new subscribers, man. We see you guys subscribing. We appreciate everybody that follows us on social media. I know on Instagram we're almost at 6,000 followers. So again, we're also pushing to continue to grow on all these other platforms as well. Salute to everybody that watches our videos from the website, blogs. I mean, that's our own community right there as well. I get all your messages and emails. Same with Facebook. Again, we're growing our community in a number of different places. We all end up here at one central place here at YouTube, here at FYF Sports. So again, salute to everybody for really helping this platform get to where it needs to be. But today we have to talk about these two players. And again, I've talked about how these two players in their own right have kind of galvanized fan bases. We're going to start with talking about Kyrie Irving, number 11 from the Brooklyn Nets. He's a point guard, a 28-year-old point guard in the NBA, 6'2", 195. Just kind of some of his metrics. Played college basketball at Duke University. He was a number 1 overall pick in the 2011 draft, and I think that's significant. And some of the things that we're going to be talking about with regards to Kyrie Irving today, he was the number 1 pick in the 2011 draft. All right. He's played with 3 NBA teams. He played with the Cavs from 2011 to 2017. He played with the Boston Celtics from 2017 to 2019, and now he's currently with the Brooklyn Nets. All right. So when we go into the drawing board, we're going to look at the analytics. We're going to look at some of the accolades and accomplishments that he's done, his stats. We're going to break all that down. When we get to that aspect of it. So we're not going to touch on all that now. I just wanted to give you guys just a quick rundown, of the players that we're going to be speaking about today. The next player we have, and the next player in this particular debate, is Russell Westbrook. All right, currently plays for the Washington Wizards, also a point guard in the NBA. He's 32 years old, slightly older. He's 6'3", 200 pounds. So his frame, although the heights are similar with Kyrie at 6'2", Russell Westbrook at 6'3", Westbrook is a more physical frame, a physical stature. He's 6'3", 200 pounds. Again, that's going to be something that we really want to chime in on and focus in on with some of the things we talk about with regards to Russell Westbrook later. He played his college basketball at UCLA. He was a number 4 pick in 2008. He's played, similar to Kyrie Irving, he's played for 3 teams as well. He started his career off with the Oklahoma City Thunder from 2008 to 2019. He was then traded to the Houston Rockets. He played there from 2019 to 2020, and now he's currently with the Washington Wizards. So this is his 3rd team. So these are the players. Now, before we go into the drawing board and we really look at the stats and try to break down what these players have accomplished on the court, what I've done is I've pieced together some film study video for you guys, which kind of accentuates what I feel these two players do best on the basketball court. And that'll just kind of give you guys an eye for what I kind of see on the basket when I'm watching these two guys play. And again, I'm not really going to be harping with regards to the video. I'm not going to be harping on what these guys don't do. I really want to focus in on what makes these two players special. What makes Russell Westbrook special? What made Russell Westbrook an MVP? All right. When we talk about Kyrie Irving, all right, what skill sets did he have that helped make him an NBA champion? All right, that's what we're going to be looking at in the video. We're going to be focusing in on the skill sets that make these two guards special in the NBA. Let's go ahead and get to the video now. After the video, we're going to be breaking down the stats. We're going to get to that drawing board, and we're really going to dissect, and just really nitpick what makes these players great, and then ultimately come to the decision of who's the better player, Kyrie Irving or Russell Westbrook.
What's this here? Look how far off he was on that play.
Disrupt that shot. Look what he does on the other end.
Throws it down. And the Thunder on the attack. Nice feed. Ibaka second in the league in block shots. Drives, layup.
He'll shoot 2 and listen.
Tanner, ask him for the ball.
How important that is. He did a great job of sealing
nifty feed from Westbrook.
Green missed the floater. You talk about the presence at the rim. Morris, a three.
Steven Adams to roll on the pick and roll, so the pocket pass. Westbrook setting up. Streak, which was snapped by Boston a couple of weeks ago. Throws it up for Robertson, and there's
Westbrook.
More quickly if you're Karl Anthony Towns, but Zhang's ability to hit that mid-range, take it.
22 in the game. Timberwolves with their first point, didn't know where he was at times. Nice feed on.
Westbrook to the far corner. Has his fourth rebound. Oladipo catching, firing, and scoring.
Is cut to 8.
Westbrook stepping through the middle and scooping it in. Turns it over. Westbrook gonna run right at moves and run. Westbrook blasting through the screen by another defender and right to the rim. Low, and Westbrook with his fifth steal. Right at Shane Larkin. Struggling in the playoffs before tonight from there.
The Rockets defense. Get by Dublin and high.
Tomahawk for Westbrook from way.
Westbrook gets to the goal beautifully.
Westbrook puts a move on Green.
Kaminsky, he's given up, 5 or 6 inches?
To the cup. The rim like no other. Struck to the rim again.
Boston team now 12-4 with their starting lineup healthy.
Westbrook, he's
He's only taken 3 shots. Nowitzki has only taken 3 shots.
They were able to beat Woodrow.
Nice pick by Adams. Westbrook has room and score. Brook has 12 assists. Beautiful move. Wow. Lakers at Los Angeles. Westbrook off the screen from
coming right. That shot, tight handle, cross him over Russell.
Westbrook on the move to the right. Look out here. Crossover, drives the lane, lefty layup, coast to coast. But nobody really gets to him. Although you can't try to.
Irving.
Danny deep.
Gets to the rim. Irving played by Rose. Irving on the drive.
Man, stop.
Who has been the
And who's so community aware and with social. Reminds me of a guy I played with. Looked at him and like, how did you finish this shot? Here,
taking all the weight? To the game, they're retreating.
to him. And
Irving gets to the rim.
look at this.
Look at that. Back to their starting lineup. When they put in a second unit, they did well.
Got the big extension this summer that'll start in 2019.
Pick and roll. How about the hard jagged cut he gets?
Irving accelerates. Offense to any deep. Irving gets to the wrist. Here's Irving. Drives. And Irving with 8 points.
We just talk about that's as far as he goes right now.
Shot clock to 4. Irving on the drive.
There's Morris in the second. Kyrie
Gets in the paint, drives, adjusts.
Irving. The step on Bradley.
The shuffle. Irving and Thompson, 2-man game. Kyrie kept him.
it's really not a drop. But once he dropped him, he goes swerving through the lane. Oh, I gotta get my. Doesn't settle, but watch this. Takes his body, runs right in.
8 of 14 from the field. Flies inside and Irving and Thompson game. Kyrie kept him.
That upper body strength for a guard. Just watch a little push off. He takes it.
Irving cuts layup. It's Steph Curry. Drives. The layup bounces around.
Accelerates. Olenek went to the rim. Shots. Here's Irving to the. Oh, what a
Tough cover. Beat him on the drive again.
Uncle Drew goes to.
Down inside. He's magical off with the left or right.
Taking out his do-it-yourself.
Because guys are shooting the ball themselves.
He's got 21. Irving the drive. Scoop.
Here is Irving taking all the way. Thomas gets picked off by Thompson, and Irving takes to the quiet night. Defensively spins in and
For Kyrie Irving. Irving drives out Thompson. Left-handed, throws it up.
Just stops with a mid-range game.
104 and 81. Kyrie goes to left hand. Change from Kyrie Irving. Irving is one of the great ball handlers in the game.
Total player plays a great at both ends of the floor.
Irving with 5 to shoot. Poked away from behind. Irving gets it back. Left hand. He's got 12. Here's flips it up off the glass.
Okay, so now you guys just saw the video. You just watched the video. All right. I really kind of tried to do my best to highlight the things that make Russell Westbrook great. All right. Why has he been a MVP caliber guard in this league? What are the things that make Kyrie Irving great? Why was he able to get alongside of LeBron James, you know, and have big time games in the NBA Finals to allow that Cavs teams to beat the Golden State Warriors, a team that they were big time underdogs against? So we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna get to these stats. What we're gonna do is we're gonna categorize anything. This is where we're gonna start awarding points to each player. All right, we got to start awarding points to each player because we have to segment the game of basketball into different categories. A lot of people, again, when you have big time super fans of any given player, especially for Kyrie Irving, they love to just focus on one aspect of the game and we forget about everything else. Even when it's fans of Russell Westbrook, they love to focus in on one aspect of the game and not consider some of the things that he struggled with. We have to consider everything when he's talking about these players. So we're going to be awarding these players points off a specific point system. All right, that's going to help us determine who is the best player of the two. So let's go ahead and look at the head-to-head comparison. All right, so we're going to look at the head-to-head comparison of these two guys. And the first thing that we see right here is NBA championships. Now, I've segmented NBA championships into its own category. Winning a championship, and especially when you're an integral piece to winning that championship, that has to give you a point. Get into a championship, and when I can look to the NBA Finals and say, not only did you make one of the biggest shots of that finals, you also had some of the biggest games of that finals. When I say you dropped 2 40-point games against a Golden State team that was elite defensively, I got to give you credit for winning that championship alongside LeBron James. That's automatically 1 point in Kyrie Irving's favor. You have to give that to Kyrie Irving. Now, when I look at NBA seasons, unlike some of the other head-to-head debates that we've done, or similar, like for example, when I did Steph Curry and Allen Iverson, the seasons that they played were kind of off. These two players are still actively playing, and the seasons are kind of somewhat, they're somewhat the same. We're not looking at a humongous difference when we're looking at these two players. So Kyrie Irving 10 seasons, Westbrook 13 seasons. No points awarded there. Playoffs played, Kyrie Irving 4, Russell Westbrook 10. Now there's a big difference in the amount of playoffs that you've been to. Now we know that making the playoffs is a team accomplishment. All right, but I have to give Russell Westbrook a point simply because being able to galvanize a poor team, or a team that's really not equipped to make the playoffs and get them into the playoffs, I have to, with regards to leadership, you cannot really, I don't think it's really much of an argument who's the better leader, who can galvanize their teammates a little bit better. Russell Westbrook's shown that he can lead teams. I mean, when we look at how he was able to lead that team in OKC when Kevin Durant left, right? He put that team on his shoulders and he led that team. When he came into Washington, when he was traded from Houston and he went to Washington, he didn't go to Washington moping, even knowing that Washington was one of the worst teams in the league. He showed up in Washington. He was the first one in practice, and he was from day one. He started to be a leader. This is why players like Bradley Beal said, Russell Westbrook's the best teammate that I've ever played with. When it comes to leadership, you have to give that point to Russell Westbrook. There are a lot of things that you can criticize him for, but leadership is not one of them. He is definitely a great leader, so I have to give him a point there. All-Star games. All-Star games is about equal. Westbrook's been in the league 13 years, 9 All-Star games. Kyrie Irving's 10 years, 7 All-Star games. That's about equal. That's not really, and again, All-Star games is a fan favorite. I separate All-Star games from playing like an All-Star. Damian Lillard played like an All-Star for multiple years and didn't make an All-Star game. So you can play like an All-Star at All-Star level and not make the All-Star game. All-Star game is, to me, is starting to turn into a gimmick. It's not necessarily something that determines how great of a player you are. So we got honors and awards, and these goes into the accolades. Now, just like we separated championships off, I also have to separate MVPs off. When I segment off MVPs, because it's something that it's only given to one player per season. To get an MVP as a player in the NBA, you have to be historically great. You have to be historically great. MVPs are, again, they're looked at highly, and we have to give a point to Russell Westbrook for getting one MVP. That's not something that's easy to do. When you look at the players in this league today, the Kevin Durant's, the Kawhi Leonard's, the LeBron Jameses, Chris Paul, Steph Curry's, all of these great players in the league, and Russell Westbrook was able to get one MVP while these guys are also playing in the league. I got to give you a point for that right there. That's not an easy accomplishment. All NBA first team. Now, all NBA first team is another point, primarily because this is how people view you. Do they view you as an elite level guard? When I look at Russell Westbrook, he's in a guard dominant Western Conference, and being in a guard dominant Western Conference, able to make the all NBA first team at the point guard position twice, that's amazing. He's having to battle through the guards like Damian Lillard and Steph Curry. When we look at these types of guards in the Western Conference as opposed to the Eastern Conference, we don't see that super high level caliber point guard in the Eastern Conference. And Kyrie Irving has always been in the Eastern Conference, and he struggled to even make an NBA first team. So Russell Westbrook, at least 2 times in his career, has been considered the best point guard in the Western Conference. That's an accomplishment right there. When we look at all NBA teams in general, Russell Westbrook, 9 years out of the 13 years that he's played, he's been on an all NBA team. That means year after year after year, he's been able to sustain great play, as opposed to Kyrie Irving, where he's only made 2 all NBA teams. Kyrie Irving only making 2 all NBA teams. That means other people, the media, and you can say there's media bias. They're not looking at Kyrie Irving as a high elite level guard. Now, we can't use the media in this because Russell Westbrook is not very well liked by the media. Kyrie Irving is not very well liked by the media. So that cancels each other out. So we can't say there's media bias, especially with Russell Westbrook being in the Western Conference where there are so many other great guards that they could easily put over him. We got media favorites like Steph Curry, media favorites like Damian Lillard, who they could easily throw on top of a Russell Westbrook. But Russell Westbrook in some of these years has outplayed these players. And so when you're talking about being considered an elite level guard, Kyrie Irving has not really been considered by the media, by other NBA talking heads, as a high level, elite level guard in this league. Although he's shown splashes. He's shown splashes of greatness like he did in the playoffs. He hasn't shown the consistency that we need to see to put him on an all NBA team. Scoring leader, Russell Westbrook. When we talk about 2 great scoring guards, has Kyrie Irving, as good of a scorer as he is, as efficient as he is, has he ever been the best scorer in the league? No. Russell Westbrook's led the league in scoring twice. Passing, you guys saw from the video earlier how we broke down Russell Westbrook's ability to facilitate. We know he struggles with the 3-point ball, right? Even though he struggles with the 3-point shot, when teams try to build a wall, he doesn't accumulate a lot of charges. Why? Because he has high offensive IQ. He's able to make elite high level passes, all right, to his teammates to kind of break those things down. He's led the league in assists 2 times. Kyrie Irving 1. So with regards to scoring leader, Russell Westbrook gets the point. He's done that twice. In regards to being a better facilitator and leading the league in assists, Russell Westbrook gets another point there. He's led the league in assists twice. And then now we have another category, another individual accolade that's extremely rare to get, Rookie of the Year. We have to give Rookie of the Year to Kyrie Irving. And I give Kyrie Irving this point primarily because he was the number 1 pick, the number 1 overall pick in 2011, I think. As the number 1 overall pick, you have the most pressure on you. And he delivered. You can try to knock the draft class and say it wasn't a very strong draft class. I don't want to hear none of that nonsense. There are so many times where the number 1 pick fails to be the best rookie in that class. Kyrie Irving delivered as promised. He delivered. He was the best player. And this is off of a small sample size that he showed at Duke University. He didn't even really give people much to see at Duke. He showed some flashes in the tournament, but other than that, he didn't give people. He came into the NBA. He dominated his first year. He showed people what he can do. Point to Kyrie Irving right there. So just in honors and accolades, we got to give Westbrook a point for the MVP. We got to give Russell Westbrook a point for making the first team All-NBA twice, being considered one of the best guards in the NBA. twice. He's made more All-NBA teams. Another point for Russell Westbrook there. Russell Westbrook was a scoring leader and an assist leader right there. But Kyrie Irving was Rookie of the Year. So in the honors and awards category, Russell Westbrook was able to accumulate 5 points. Kyrie Irving won. Now, when we go to some of the other things like stats, is Kyrie Irving going to be able to catch up? I don't know. Let's go ahead and go to NBA regular season stats. When we look at the NBA regular season stats, Kyrie Irving, 22 points a game. Russell Westbrook, 23. So Kyrie Irving, for as great of a scorer as he is, Russell Westbrook still scoring at a better clip. What's the difference between how Kyrie scores and Russell Westbrook scores? Kyrie's more finesse, is better on the eyes, it looks better, it's more fun to watch. Russell Westbrook's ugly. He's hard-nosed. It's not always efficient, but he's still scoring the ball at a better clip per game for a career. When you look at rebounds per game, remember I told you, for the most part, these two players are the same height. The difference is the physical stature. Russell Westbrook is a physical guard. At 200 pounds, he goes and mixes it up with the big guys to go get rebounds. He just doesn't get a lot of credit for it. Russell Westbrook is averaging 7 rebounds for his career. Not for one season, for his career. All right, so people can say that he stat pads and his team gives him rebounds. He played a lot of years with Steven Adams and Kevin Durant and Serge Ibaka. He played a lot of years. I don't think these guys were just giving him rebounds. He has a great nose for the ball. We just have to give him credit for that. Kyrie Irving, a smaller guard, not as physical, 3.8 rebounds a game. Again, that's good, but Russell Westbrook is an elite level rebounder at the guard position. When we look at assists per game, facilitating, well, Russell Westbrook, I've shown from the clips earlier, is a great facilitator. If you guys don't remember, if you think back on when the Nets were playing this year, when Spencer Dinwiddie went down, he was the primary playmaker for the Nets. When he went down with that ACL injury and Kyrie Irving had to step in to be the point guard, we saw Kyrie Irving struggle as the facilitator. He struggled multiple games trying to facilitate for the Nets. Some of these things tell me right there, Russell Westbrook is the far better facilitator. Now, does Russell Westbrook make dumb turnovers and dumb shots from time to time? Yes. That does not take away or negate the fact that he's a far superior playmaker to Kyrie Irving. So, in regards to assists per game, Russell Westbrook definitely wins out right there. Steals per game, Russell Westbrook 1.7, Kyrie Irving 1.3. When we have blocks per game, it's a wash. They're both under 1 block a game. But steals per game and blocks per game, when you look at just defense overall, I think by a long shot, we can all agree that Russell Westbrook's the far superior defender. He's much more physical, he's stronger, he's tenacious, he doesn't give up on any plays at all. He doesn't give up on plays at all. Now, is he the best perimeter defender in the league? No, we're not saying he's the best perimeter defender. But when you're talking about going out, defending, giving effort on every single play, you have to give that to Russell Westbrook. He is the far superior defender when you're talking about these two guys. When we're looking at Kyrie Irving, one can say that Kyrie Irving is progressively getting worse defensively as time moves on. When I see him struggle with basic defensive concepts in the NBA, when I see him not getting back on defense after making live ball turnovers, that all goes to effort. But and I can't necessarily blame him, because people who score the ball at a high level are much more fatigued than other guys. But we also have to say the same thing for Russell Westbrook, because he scores the ball at a high level and he's still able to defend at a high level. Again, not saying he's the greatest defender, but he's the better defender of these two players. So when you talk about defense and we're talking about regular season stats, another point goes to Russell Westbrook right there. He easily wins out right there. We're not going to go to total overall stats right there. That's a wash. That really doesn't mean anything, especially when these two guys' seasons played aren't equal. But what we can go to is we can go to the percentages. We can go to the percentages. The percentages really detail efficiency. Efficiency is another category where we can award a point. All right, so when we look at the efficiency in the regular season, Kyrie Irving shooting the ball at 46%, Russell Westbrook 43%. 3-point percentage, Kyrie Irving shooting it at 39%, Russell Westbrook 30%. And from the free throw line, Kyrie Irving is shooting the ball at 87%, Russell Westbrook 79%. I mean, Kyrie Irving is extremely efficient scoring the basketball. I mean, he's a few percentage points off in every category. He's a few percentage points off from averaging 50, 40, 90 in all of these categories. You guys, we all know how hard it is to be 50, 40, 90 in the NBA. He's almost averaging 50, 40, 90 for his career offensively. That's a great accomplishment. Efficiency right there, regular season efficiency, we have to give that to Kyrie Irving. Regular season efficiency, because he's getting the job done. You know, he's a high volume scorer and he scores at an efficient clip. He doesn't miss a lot of shots. He doesn't take a lot of bad shots, which is key. And even some of the bad shots that may seem bad to us, they're good shots for him because they go in. All right. So we have to award efficiency. That's an easy one that we can award to Kyrie Irving. We've seen how inefficient Russell Westbrook can be. We've seen him take a lot of bad shots throughout his career in big time moments. So again, efficiency has to be awarded to Kyrie Irving. When we look at their best seasons overall in every statistical category. All right, scoring wise, for Kyrie Irving, considered one of the best scorers in the league, he still has not had a better season scoring wise than Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook's best season in 2017, where he averaged 31.6 points a game. Kyrie Irving's best scoring season was last year with the Brooklyn Nets, where he didn't even really finish out the season when he could have, but he was averaging 27.4 points per game. One of the reasons why I was disappointed in Kyrie Irving. I wish he would have came back to the bubble and finished out the season. He was playing really great. Rebounds per game, Russell Westbrook, 11 rebounds a game in 2019. While Kyrie Irving's best rebound this season was 5.2 in 2020. Again, Russell Westbrook's best seasons in these statistical categories are really, really outweighing, it's not like it's close. He's really separating himself by a big margin in a lot of these categories. Russell Westbrook's best statistical season passing the ball was in 2019. He averaged 10 assists per game, 10.7. Kyrie Irving, 6.9. Steals per game, Russell Westbrook 2.1 steals per game, Kyrie Irving 1.5 in 2019. So when we look at these statistical categories, when we look at it, whenever they've had in their best statistical seasons in any particular category, this attribute definitely has to go to Russell Westbrook, because we're not just talking about points. All right, we're not just talking about rebounds. We're not just talking about assists or steals. When we look at the best of the best in every category, Russell Westbrook is dominating Kyrie Irving as far as putting up these numbers in the regular season. So again, that's another point awarded to Russell Westbrook. We have to give it to him because the numbers don't lie. They are what they are. All right, and we're talking about a guy in Russell Westbrook who's averaged triple doubles in multiple years, something we haven't seen since Oscar Robertson. Now playoffs is one. We've already awarded Kyrie Irving a point for his ability to help his team win a championship. He was a major cog into that team winning the championship. He was probably one of the most essential pieces to that team beating Golden State in the finals. When we look at their playoff stats for a career, Russell Westbrook averaging 24.8 points per game in the playoffs. Kyrie Irving only averaging 23.5 for his career in the playoffs. Russell Westbrook averaging 7 rebounds per game in the playoffs. Kyrie Irving 3.3. Assists per game, Russell Westbrook 7 in the playoffs, Kyrie Irving 5. Steals per game, Russell Westbrook 1.8, Kyrie Irving 1.5. So again, when we're looking at stats, just the stats in the playoffs, Russell Westbrook scoring has actually went up in the playoffs, but his efficiency probably went down. We'll get to the efficiency next, but he's still rebounding the ball at a high level. He's playmaking at a high level, and he's still defending at a high level. So playoff stats, we have to give that to Russell Westbrook. He's showing up, and he's still showing up even in the playoffs. All right, now we got to go to playoff efficiency. Who's more efficient? Now, even though Russell Westbrook's his field goal percentage has went up, slightly up in the as percentage wise, it's still not what Kyrie Irving has done. Kyrie Irving shooting 45% from the field in the playoffs. He's still shooting 39% from the field at the three-point line, and he's still shooting 87% from the free throw line in the playoffs. Now, Russell Westbrook's free throw percentages went up to 82%, but his three-point percentage went down. He's less efficient from the three-point line in the playoffs, shoot 29% from the three-point line. So, efficiency in the playoffs, that has to be awarded to Kyrie Irving. He's just as efficient in the regular season as he is in the playoffs. And that's one thing you always want from a star player in the league. You want consistency. Whatever they do in the regular season, you want them to be able to mirror or be better than what they do in the regular season. And Kyrie Irving is giving you the same statistical output. So that's a point awarded to Kyrie Irving. Points. Now, the best playoffs, remember, just like we did best in every statistical category, what are the best statistical categories in the playoffs? All right, well, Russell Westbrook in 2017 had his best playoff series, playoff average ever in points per game. He averaged 37.4 points per game in 2017. That's completely unheard of. To average 37 points per game in the playoffs, I mean, a lot of people are going to say he was ball hogging. You may say he was very inefficient. At the end of the day, averaging 37.4 points per game is averaging 37.4 points per game. That's compared to Kyrie Irving, who averaged 25.9. All right. Rebounds per game. Kyrie Irving's best rebounding output in the playoffs was in 2019, where he averaged 4.3. Russell Westbrook in 2018 averaged 12 rebounds a game in the playoffs. All right. And in the playoffs, this is, again, the playoffs is not a time where a lot of people try to say stat padding. The playoffs is not a time to stat pad, where every rebound matters. He has a great nose for the ball. He's going and getting those rebounds. And that's not even accounting all of the offensive rebounds he's grabbing as well. He's a great offensive rebounder. Assists per game. 2016, Russell Westbrook was able to dish out 11 assists per game in 2016 to Kyrie Irving 7 in 2019. Again, his best passing playoff season was better than Kyrie Irving's. We have to look at that. Steals per game. Russell Westbrook averaged 3 steals per game in 2013 in the playoffs compared to Kyrie Irving's 1.7. We have to look at that because, again, the one thing that we know is that with Kyrie Irving, his steals numbers are deceptive. Because if you just look at it, you'll say he's an average defender, when in reality, he's a very poor defender that is progressively getting worse. That's the honest assessment of his defense, as opposed to Russell Westbrook. While albeit he's not the greatest perimeter defender in the league, you can rely on him to give max effort, play in and play out. All right. And he's not going to cheat you on the defensive end of the court. He's going to give max effort. That's one thing that we can attest to with Russell Westbrook. So when we look at all of these things right here, and again, we've been accumulating all of these points. We're really trying to understand what makes these players great. What are they better in? When it comes to the playoffs, are they showing up? Are their stats dropping or decreasing? Are they less efficient? Are they more efficient? We've taken all of these things into consideration. Honors and awards, who has, we've looked at all of this. We've broken all this down. And this is all going to help us determine who is the better basketball player overall. And in looking at this particular situation, it's so easy to really be disgruntled with Russell Westbrook because of how the season ended for the Houston Rockets last year. I mean, it's so easy to pinpoint and point the finger at him for, some of the team's failings in OKC. When we look at Kyrie Irving, again, he's done some things in his career that I also feel have been detrimental to him being considered an MVP caliber player. Last year, when I look at Kyrie Irving, who's having statistically the best season of his career, and then he doesn't play in the playoff bubble. When his team makes the playoffs, and they actually could have made a run, they just were missing another dynamic scorer, and they had to rely on a guy like Karis LeVert and Joe Harris to carry them. So when we look at that, and obviously both of these players, if you're big, Kyrie Irving's going to have more fans because of his style of play. It's flashy, it's more fun to watch. Russell Westbrook's everything he does is really ugly on the court. Nothing's flashy. It's just straight line to the basket, just basic passes. It's not pretty on the eye. His antics can get on your nerves, especially if he's playing against your favorite team. So we want to make sure that we're making a non-biased opinion on both of these players. But when we look at everything, when we consider the accolades head to head, when we consider their best regular season and playoff performances, when we consider the efficiency, the one thing that we cannot deny that at this stages in their career, Russell Westbrook is the far superior player. And the numbers, the video, the accolades all suggest so. And one of the biggest things that really helped me make this decision, although the points awarded were in Russell Westbrook's favor, the biggest thing that helped me make this decision, it really made me feel comfortable in my decision, was the NBA first team selections. When I saw the NBA first team selections, I said to myself, why has Kyrie Irving never made an all-NBA first team in the Eastern Conference? But why has Russell Westbrook made a first team 2 times and been on the all-NBA team 9 times in the Western Conference? When I said we cannot deny the fact that the Western Conference is loaded with more superior guards, and Russell Westbrook was still able to manage to be on either the first or second team for 9 seasons, while Kyrie Irving never made a first team and was only on an all-NBA team 2 times in his career. But this is what I talk about. When I talked about how Kyrie Irving picks and chooses the moments in which he shows up, there's no consistency. Last year was his most consistent year, showing what he can do on the basketball court. And then he shot himself in the foot by refusing to go play in the NBA bubble because Kevin Durant wasn't playing. When he was in Boston, you know, how he became the team cancer and how that team operated at a much more efficient level when he got injured, and they had more success as a team when he was gone, to the point where they didn't even want him back, and he was forced to go to Brooklyn. When we look at how Kyrie Irving essentially shot himself in the foot in moments and in seasons where maybe he could have elevated himself to being an elite level guard in the NBA, and he chose not to. Russell Westbrook has taken advantage of all of those opportunities. When Kevin Durant left OKC, Russell Westbrook stepped up into that leadership role and led that team to the playoffs. Russell Westbrook had some historically great seasons, averaging a triple-double, I think 2 or 3 seasons in a row. And to those out there that say he was stat padding, well, make sure you apply that stat pad terminology to guys like Oscar Robertson, who did it for 5 seasons in a row. Because we can't say that it was a great accomplishment for Oscar Robertson, but then Russell Westbrook does it just because we don't like him as a player. Oh, he's stat padding. That's the only reason why he was doing it. And at the end of the day, at the NBA level, if somebody's stat padding, it's your job to go out there and stop them. So the fact that they couldn't stop him tells a lot right there. I mean, again, we can't use the same talking points that other people use. We have to look at this in the biased eye. So again, I want you guys to let me know what you think. Who's your selection? Who's the better player out of Russell Westbrook and Kyrie Irving? Who's the better player out of the two to you? What are your reasons for it? All right, when we go into our live stream tonight, I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to each come in and give your explanation and definition as to why you think any particular player is, either one of these particular players is better. And I want you to come with your own facts. But remember, don't be heavily reliant on one moment or one season, because one moment or one season doesn't equate to a career's worth of work. So be careful with the arguments that you bring. Make sure they're not easily debunkable. And again, I don't care what player you prefer. I just want you to come with the strongest arguments possible for that player. So make sure you guys are tuning into our live stream tonight. We're going to be talking about this. We're gonna do a lot of NBA talk, but we're going to start it off with this topic right here. Who do you guys think is the superior player, Russell Westbrook or Kyrie Irving? We came to our conclusion here at FYF Sports. We chose Russell Westbrook. We gave you our reasons why. We broke down the stats. We broke down the film. We broke around what they do good, what they struggle with. At the end of the day, we feel that Russell Westbrook won out on that particular decision. But hey, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to the video if you haven't done so already. Again, we're going to be coming more with these player debates. We're going to be coming more with these player debates, especially you know, especially when we're talking about players that are hated, when you're talking about Russell Westbrook, players that are liked. I love putting these guys up against each other because I really want to see who can be honest about people's games. There are more fans of Kyrie Irving, but can those Kyrie Irving fans, can you honestly look at everything that Russell Westbrook has accomplished in the NBA and say that Kyrie Irving is the superior player, has had the better career? Don't know. And I think that would be a tough one to come down to, the tough deduction to conclude, and I think it'll be very tough to prove if you are debating it here on FYF Sports. So make sure you gather your notes, do your film study, come with your best takes. We'll be talking about it tonight here on FYF Sports. Man, hey, it's been a great podcast episode. Make sure you guys are still following us on all social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We release a lot of content on those platforms as well. All right, now this time around we're gonna be getting our Patreon videos up and running. Our Patreon videos are going to be more focused in on the sports and politics side of things. One of the main reasons why I want to focus on some of these Patreon videos, because when I talk about like the Jacob Blake situation and those videos get demonetized, and the algorithm doesn't favor them, or even when YouTube tells me to not make videos about Kelly Loeffler and that particular situation with the Atlanta Dream. Those are the videos that that's the information that I want you guys to hear. I want to start putting that information out on the Patreon. So the link to the Patreon is going to be in the description of this video. All right, I'm going to start posting content there. When we get to 100 patrons on Patreon, that's when I'm going to start unleashing all these videos that I got saved for you guys. So it's going to be a lot of great video. But again, we got it to push that content out, man. We need you guys supporting the channel. So make sure you go subscribe to the Patreon, which is links going to be down below. All right. The commitment to join the Patreon is very low. But again, all that support help us push all this content. Hey, but salute to everybody for watching. Congratulations, man. We got to give one to Russell Westbrook. He's the better player in this argument. What do you guys think? Hey, but it's FYF Sports, man. We'll be back with more sports and news later. But for now, we out.
She took my heart like a bandit. I play my card like I'm Gambit. I'm selling stocks like a wolf. I'm in the market like Granny. Taking my time and I am it. Run it up just for the family. ATL, go crazy. Hey, where you been hiding? Running it up and providing. Real G still moving silent. Bulls on the market, you know it. It's a moonshot, then I'm on it. You could've took the trip, but you loafing. Thought it was love, it's a dub. Thought it was trust, it was lust. You was more about you than us.
I don't think so. No, 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 no. I don't think so. No, 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 no. It's never, ever, 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 ever gonna happen. I don't think so. No, 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 no. I don't think so.